Morning, Tim Steiner again. We're out here in maple woods in November in Colchester, Vermont. A lot of crunchy leaves on the ground. You'll hear me and my videographer tromping through them. Nice rough maple stand. We got cliffs up on this side of us and steep ground falling off this way. We got a little plateau here we're setting up on. I want to show you the Minimalist system of upgrades of our woodland camping platforms and also coverable shelters. These are our entry level or ultra lightweights compared to our full tents, the Alpha and the Omega. So we like to call these the thin black line in the woods because from the side there's very little to them at the beginning. We'll take a look. Here's the Minimalist right here, the original Minimalist. We also have a double Minimalist now. This is the footprint of our Alpha, and the double Minimalist is the footprint of our Omega. So we'll take a look at it. Come on over. Got it set on a fairly rough incline, broken ground. Matter of fact, I've set one area right here where it's closer to the ground and it drops right off under it. Just to show you the versatility again of these platforms can be used nearly anywhere. And right here it's just above knee level, but right out below it it's 4 or 5 feet up. So I'll get onto this one. It's our open camping platform. We have several different flies that can be used over it, or you can use your own fly for that matter. We have custom designed ones. The Minimalist is a buildable system. The original Minimalist, we're going to show you a new model today which is even simpler. But with the Minimalist we still have the ties for the gear net that goes under, or the mosquito under net. This Minimalist does not have pole pins on it, but you can order it with the pole pins at their appropriate spots. And then you can add a 5-point 2-pole system and use our custom flies, or you can just use square or rectangular flies. The custom flies, you use them as you build this system. If you buy the poles and add it, we'll either add them at the time of your buying, or you can send it back in and we'll add them later. Then you can add the poles and add the custom fit fly canopy, and when that's fully tucked under, you're pretty close to a tent. If you want more than that, it's time to go to the Alpha or Omega. Just demonstrate the use of this. Very comfortable and level, like all of our tents. You can completely relax. You can change sleeping positions automatically, just like you're at home in bed without giving it much thought. You don't have to worry about turning it over. We put, just as in the Alpha and the Omega, we put in the Alpha actually, we put a boot strap down here. You can tuck things behind this or lash them to it to use that little unused area that's not part of your regular sleeping area. But there's at least 7 feet, or actually more than 7 feet, of sleeping area or camping area for you to move around in. We like to demonstrate the stability of these tents as opposed to hammocks. So we don't usually recommend this, and of course inside our tents you can't stand up because there's not enough height. But just to demonstrate the stability of the tent, or of our camping platform system that is also the floor of the tent, we show you the stability of it. Not bad. Now, this is the Minimalist. There's a double Minimalist, which is the footprint of the Omega. It has more tension work up here at the head side because it has a much longer head side. But we'll just show you the basic tensioning equipment. We have here, this is just to clean up the line. This is not really a knot that's tied for any reason. Here's our tensioner, self-tailing, backup standard cleat, and it's a 3-to-1 system. You'll notice, hop down there, pretty high on this end. 2 blocks here, a single block here with Beckett gives us a 3-to-1 tensioning system. These are Dyneema lines, our heavier lines, which we call the tree lines because it runs out to the tree, to the tree saver bands on the tree, is rated at 8,700 pounds, I believe. And this line is rated, this 3/16 line is rated at 5,600 pounds, I believe. But of course there's 4 runs of it, so it's even stronger than that. And then of course our tree saver bands, 4,400 pound test, static webbing, no stretch, very light stretch, very little, is on our different 3 trees. and we've wound up different amounts on each tree so we could center up the rig where we wanted it. Part of our versatility. And then on all of our models, we finish our tensioning, and again, we've done this just for looks. Here's the actual work with a D-ring tensioning strap. So we've got 3-to-1 in our initial mechanical advantage of blocks and pulleys, and these are from yachting, ultra lightweight, ultra strong, from yachting supplies we put together. So you've got the 3-to-1 there, and then you've got to turn back through each tree saver band on both sides of the head side, and that doubles the 3-to-1, so basically a 6-to-1 tensioning system. And then finally we finish by tugging these tight and pulling the whole rig from the foot toward the head side, and you'll see after you've been on it, you'll get a little bit more out of it. And that gives us our extremely taut rig of the whole Treez concept. Now we have, again, this is the Minimalist, and there's the double Minimalist. This can be fit with all kinds of accessories and poles, different flies. We have a Minimalist that's especially made up as a package called the Hunter's Nest, with a little bit better deal than assembling it from parts and pieces for hunters, where we have a camo fly. We have the fly in both a custom cut to fit the poles really well and snug as a tent, or we have a utility fly that's at a lower price, both in camo and in our seal nail brown tan. So if we want to go from here right to the trees right nearby us, and this is just a typical stand of irregular trees, and yet within just a few feet of each other we found enough setups to set up 2 tents, which is a few feet away. So I want to show you the new line of not only the Minimalist, but now this is the pure Minimalist, and this is highly upgradable, as I've mentioned to you, with lots of different options. Now we've brought in an even simpler line, entry level. It's lighter in weight too, and we call it the Minimalist Simplex. Step right over here with me and take a look at it. Our present entry-level price on the Minimalist, the pure Minimalist, which is very upgradable, it starts at $369, as I just showed to you, with all tensioning equipment. This is the Minimalist Simplex. It has a different floor surface. It's been very adequate for weight use. I won't walk on it, but it's probably okay. It's lighter than the floor system we use on the straight Minimalist in our tents, because we're not putting quite as much tension on this. Although this is plenty of tension to sleep on, and I'll demonstrate momentarily. And now we have a 2-to-1 tensioner. This is just a straight lock and a backup, and then we get our 2-to-1 by our turnbacks through the tree saver bands. Now we tend to use these things as clotheslines and pack lines and everything else, and you'll soon be doing the same thing. And over here, this is just something we wrapped around here for neatness, but here's our turn back through the tree saver band, and that gives you 2-to-1 tensioning, which makes it a lot more economical than cost, because the marine hardware and the lines are quite expensive, and yet we've still got a good solid locking tensioner here. And I'll demonstrate the Simplex. Brand new. We're not even quite sure what the production weight's going to be yet. Probably about 2.5 pounds. And that would be for everything from the carabiner and the tree saver bands to the unit itself. So for the weight of a little sapling joining me here, for the weight of a typical jungle hammock, you've got a woodland camping platform here that's stable, level, off the ground. Notice I can be completely level and comfortable no matter what the underlying situation. I got cliffs behind me that way, and mixed forests around, and cliffs above me here, and yet here I am ready for a night's sleep. Once again, same footprint, got plenty of room to spread out and relax. I can move in my sleep without fear of turning over. Short of sleepwalking, I'm all set. The Minimalist doesn't have a lot of upgrades. We haven't added a lot of the extra straps in order to save labor costs and to save weight. You can't add a pull system to the Minimalist Simplex, but you can put one of our flies over it and string it on a ridge line and tie it to the adjoining trees and make a covered campsite. And you can also wrap it down tight to prevent, to keep the bugs out and so on. So it's a good start. Our planned price on it is $229 for everything you see here, and we're going to offer a $100 certificate toward the purchase of an Omega if you buy one within the next year, or a $75 certificate toward the purchase of an Alpha if you buy it within the next year. So if you can't stand to be without the full tent, you've already got one you can share with your friends, and you can get your tent at a markdown. So you can get into this Simplex as low as $129 if you take advantage of that offer. So we wanted you to see it, and we're going to go home because it's a chilly day out here in November in Vermont. Take a look at our website, treeztreetents.com. Drop us an email or give us a call. Thanks.